Hello, everybody. You've probably seen my name in the chat up to now, but I'm Aaron. I'm on the Stopelon core team since it got rearranged recently, and what we thought we'd do is maybe have a bit of a rotation and have different ones of us talking at some of the AMAs, just to keep it exciting. So I am on the team doing social media stuff. So generally the stuff that you see posted, on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or now TikTok, some of the Reddit stuff. That's generally me replying with cheeky replies to people sometimes as well on bigger threads. So what I'll say about that is obviously it's your community. If there's things that you think that we should be saying, let me know. I mean, I do have, if I don't think it's the right tone, then I'll push back and I'll tell you why I don't think it's the right tone. But we're always up for suggestions. And when people pop in links, into the chat and say, this guy said this, let's get on it. Like generally, if I've got my phone on me and I see it, and even if I'm doing other stuff, I'll generally jump on and try and do that stuff. I'm always mindful of us not just looking like we're like an Elon hate group or something like that. So I never go in too hard on anything like that, but generally just try to keep it cheeky, respond with a meme or just something like that. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm also involved in the kind of public relations, PR in general side of things, writing and proofreading stuff that people have written, maybe some of the stuff for the website I've had a read over and rephrased it so it phrases maybe a little bit better for English readers. So I mean, it's AMA, so if anyone's got any questions, then obviously just pop them in the chat. We were going to mention there's no huge announcements tonight. We put up the merch store on Tuesday, so if you haven't seen the merch store, then get over to the website at stopelon.space. There's a little store new, and you can buy yourself a t-shirt or a beanie or a crop top. I'd be quite interested in seeing some of the blokes here in crop tops. So if you have photos of you in crop tops, that'd be good.
I bet you don't want to see that.
Well, give me something to post on social media.
Yeah, let's leave that for the naked calendar.
Those vests are pretty banging as well. I'm not, sorry. Yeah, the vests, I could get my guns out in those vests, my big chubby pecs or whatever. So that's that. So if you haven't seen it, even if you've got no interest in buying anything, the beanie's pretty cool. But and there's some stickers on there that you can buy of some of our stickers that are in the chat. But as we said, I think we announced how we were going to split it, but the idea is that any profit that is made through that store is going to go back in, whether it's back into the marketing wallet or the I'd rather know more about that. I did read it, but however that profit's going to be split up will go back into the project.
Between dev and marketing wallet.
Yeah, dev and marketing wallet. So that's the idea with that. And we've had a couple of orders in, a few orders, and that's pretty cool. That's just part of one way to spread awareness. And I will say that even if you think that they're going to be like spread, it's amazing. As someone, like I've said before, I've got a box of t-shirts next to me. I send them out for other stuff I do, music and that. I actually go out and sometimes see people wearing my t-shirts, and it's quite mad. Like I'll go to London or even as far as Holland, and people send me photos. Oh, I saw this guy wearing one of your t-shirts. So it does work. So grab a t-shirt. What we were going to say, the other announcement was just a website in general. So that we had a bit of a discussion today. We had Vidad in the chat making some suggestions about the websites, and it's great to have suggestions about the website. We generally make a note of them, And as I'm sure a lot of you know, it's not something. Hang on. As you generally know, like updating a website isn't something we can just click our fingers and do. But Shadows is working on it constantly in the background. I can definitely vouch for that. And we've got a test site. So any ideas that come up, he's like working out how to put it up on a test site, and we all look at it as a team, and suggest how we can update it. There's something that we're working on at the moment. I probably won't mention it. I don't know unless Rod tells me to mention it. I won't mention it. But there's things, constantly little tweaks that we're doing, things that make it a little bit more sociable. Eventually I agree that we could look at the wording that people get to when they land on the first page. We were looking at updating, the bits on the roadmap. Potentially, there'll be new mission statements going up, all of that kind of stuff. The website is a constant piece of work. We never want it to just stay still. It always wants to be something, interesting, because it's the first point of contact for people. When they see the link, they click it. So that's that. I keep clicking the website. It keeps playing the music. It keeps auto playing the music. So yeah, have we had any questions in the that we've saved? Let's have a look.
I can tell you, I got a question. Just wondering.
Yeah.
It's Pat Bateman here. I know that every Monday we're paying out the team somewhere between $7,000 to $8,000. Dollars, in equivalent of Stopelon. And I'm just wondering, is any of that money going towards copy editing or creating articles to kind of blast out to different media outlets, just so that we can get articles going again? Because right now, when you look in Stopelon News, I think the most recent article is still, back in like early June, late May.
When you say Stopelon News, what do you mean? Oh, you mean actually in the news?
Yeah, like in the news. So one thing, other teams do is they simply have a copy editor who writes essentially pretty vague articles, but give it to Entrepreneur, Guardian, whoever, and they'll publish it under whatever name you have.
So
they can use it
to answer your question directly. Is not exactly like that at the moment. I have something which is going to fulfill that role, which is going to be slightly more independent, like to give it to so it's not Stopelon writing articles bigging itself up, if you see what I mean. Something that I've had a chat with Mick Dundee, because he's up for writing. Shadows is up for writing. I'm up for writing, and we're talking a little bit about that, but that's not something I'm going to announce now. But that if I'm going to be honest with you, that will be me, and I will be writing articles. But no, I haven't yet.
Okay. The just because when's our tour? September 13th or 10th? Was that it?
Yeah.
No, or was that the beginning of it?
It's around the 10th.
Okay, it's around the 10th. And I just feel okay. I mean,
no, I understand
exactly, we should have an article.
I understand exactly what you're trying to say. We had a team meeting last night. We are honestly just waiting on that concrete date and locations, and then everything will go out. And that's one of the things that we were talking about last night.
Okay. Do we know the outlets that we're going to be reaching out to?
Yeah, I can give you a list if you bear with me. I've just closed my windows because it kept playing music. 1 second. So we've got. So I've been going down the list of agencies that we've had before. A lot of them were Indian, that wrote about us previously, but there's other stuff. Republic World, Daily Investment, Fox Interviewer, Fossey Bites, JT.org, Benzinga, Live Bitcoin News, Republic World, and that's you know, I've got that, but then I've also got the names of the authors who wrote those articles, so that we can, you know, do two-pronged. We can go at the news agency, and we can also go at the author, because most probably going at the news agency is going to get ignored, whereas going direct to the author might get more picked up.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just, what's the latest we're thinking about reaching out to them?
I can't answer that question because I'm waiting for the intel. I mean, Rod might be able to answer that question, so someone else might be able to answer that question.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Don to finish planning the road trip, because he's the one responsible, because he has the car in his name for now. So he has to do all the road trip planning, dates, figuring out the hotels and places that we're gonna stay on the way to each city. And as soon as he has that, we will start reaching out. So content is pretty much ready. We're waiting on final dates and everything.
So is the article written? We just don't have the actual specific dates of the tour. Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't have an article written, because I can write an article pretty quickly. To be honest with you, I'd rather have the information, because it will just help me be able to do it. I've not got a problem with writing an article pretty quickly. So no, it's the answer to that.
Is the Vegas billboard still up?
No, they were just up for a month.
How much did that cost?
Yeah, they ended on 28th of July. The whole month costs $3.5K.
Okay. Would we be willing to re-up that, or maybe even do another billboard and take a pay cut for the month, or what do you guys say about that?
Yeah, the outcome of the Vegas billboards wasn't much. We even had like analytics and QR codes. It wasn't much, and it didn't impact price as much. So we might do it again, but mostly when the volume of the market gets way bigger, like our market, not crypto as a whole, but when the tour is going on and the movement gets back to its feet in a better way, then we might invest again on some, maybe some major cities, maybe New York, maybe San Francisco, Los Angeles, and more central areas than just Vegas. We used Vegas as a tryout, because there were some events happening, and there was the 4th of July. But it didn't work out as much. But we'll be doing more billboards in the future.
Yeah, maybe when you have a voting process, it would be a really nice ad to put up on a billboard. So
yeah, exactly.
I think it's like a thing about billboards is it's the whole call to action thing, isn't it? It's like, unless you're asking people to do something like directly, what are they for? And the Vegas thing was great because it looked cool, and it transcends into having material to put online about it, if you see what I mean. So it's not just the people that are seeing it in Vegas, it's the fact that you've got this kind of content to work with online, whether it's just photos of it or the videos or all that kind of stuff. But really, you know, going forward, I know I'd be arguing for, you know, the whole point of advertising is having a call to action. You're asking people to do something. Awareness is great, but you know, people don't always know what it means, if you see what I mean. But that's all stuff we can talk about going forward, isn't it? So yeah, has anyone got any other questions?
See if we have any saved questions.
I've got a box of stickers here. So, and I've also got a load of envelopes which I've got so I could send out the stickers. Now the reason that I've got the stickers is Dave very nicely out of his money bought a box of stickers and got them sent to me, and then I not quite as nicely, well maybe more nicely depending on how many people ask, I'm going to send them out. So if anybody wants just say like 20 stickers in an envelope to have to stick up in your area, not that we're encouraging you to stick them anywhere in particular, but if you want them to do that, they've got the Stopelon on them, they've got a QR code, and something that we're working on for the website is actually interactive with these QR codes. It's going to be pretty cool. So like if you end up with stickers, all I'm going to say is people might end up knowing that you've been putting out the word in your area, that kind of thing. It's nothing that's going to be traceable to you. But so if anyone wants stickers, or if anyone sees anyone in the chat asking about stickers, yes, we've got a group. Yes, you can print off your own QR codes and blah blah blah. But also, I've got a stack of stickers, and I'm willing to send them out to anyone who wants them. Obviously, UK and Europe would be cheaper for me, but I am willing to send them anywhere in the world. Did you find any questions?
No, that's not. There was one question about entering giveaways with the Bitmart wallets. I think that has been answered already. But
Yeah.
Bitmart, if you have money in your wallet and you don't have purchase or sell orders, usually the tokens stay in your particular wallet. If you have purchase orders, then it goes to Bitmart's wallet. So if you have tokens in your wallet, it shows up on BSC scan. So you should be eligible, and don't worry about it. So my recommendation will be that don't have any sell or buy orders by the time the draws are made, pretty much.
Perfect. So the draws along the way, that they get made off of BSC scan. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
The snapshots are all made on BSC scan.
Perfect. Thanks for that. I mean, just to give it, because socials is my area, just to give a shout out. I know TikTok is for the young people and all that, but that's the latest thing that I set up. If you are on TikTok, please follow it. And it's just Stopelon_BSC. At the moment, it is just little infographics and graphics built up from the content that we've had. But someone did suggest in our team chat last night about us doing little educational videos, or just talking. This is one of us making videos when TikTok responds to that kind of stuff a bit better, and more people are likely to see it. So that's probably a good idea, and I'm going to look into that, even if it's just me going, hello, we're Stopelon, come to this website. What is market manipulation, and talk about that for a bit, or something like that. So on that note, if anyone wants to make any videos, a 20-second video explaining one of the concepts to do with Stopelon, please do, and send it to me. Like, the whole point is that it's community driven. I'll do it. But if anybody wants to get involved with any of it, then please do message me.
There's a question in chat about the marketing wallet. Currently on our cold wallet, we have, let me just check, 45 billion. Yeah, 45 billion Stopelon. 45.5 pretty much on the marketing wallet at the moment.
I know one of the questions that came up last week was about the staff getting paid, and how many. I wasn't on the AMA, that thing, but I saw that it was about how long are the tokens going to last and all that kind of stuff. And all I can say is, one thing that I noticed, like this week when it got paid out, was how fewer tokens it took for us to get the same amount, if you see what I mean. Simply with a slight upswing in the market, the amount of tokens that had to be sent out was it was around 20% lower, I think, just under.
Exactly. So it was way lower.
So the more the market goes up, the less the less and less we get paid. And I know people have asked before, would we be willing to take pay cuts or pay breaks and stuff like that. I can't speak for everybody else, but yeah, sure. I mean, at the end of the day, for me personally, I like getting given something for what I do, but also if I do my job properly, the price will go up, won't it? So I'm sure a few of us feel like that, at least. So that's that.
Yeah, I believe pretty much everyone in the core team feels the same. We're getting paid now because it gives us a boost for working a bit more actively. But in the end, if we run out of tokens in the dev wallet, it's not a problem to continue working because we already got paid, and pretty much like 80% of us are not withdrawing anything most of the time. And that's a great incentive for making the token grow up in the future as well. So we'll still have the tokens. We will want to get the most out of them if at some point the dev wallet is dried up.
Yeah, and also like not to be like too much of a, I don't want to preach like an evangelical, like this isn't a religion, this isn't what this is about. But you can see, like we talk about it in the chat a bit, and like I know the price isn't shooting up. I know we don't have tons of volume coming in, but in those moments when that doesn't happen, it is true that literally all you have to do is hold, because we are wrapped in BNB. The market's on the way up. As long as you don't lose, you don't hit that fear, and you know, and people don't start piling on selling. If our core base is holding, but BNB is not going down when you zoom out. You know, the market isn't going down when you zoom out. It's only going up, even if you go through months of dip. So as long as people don't have the fear and sell Stopelon because the market is going down, then we're always going to have that baseline, and then the sales just build upon that. And obviously it'd be great to suddenly go 200, 300, 400%, but then you also have the danger there of a load of people just going, actually I'm going to sell all my bags because now I'm 400% up in one go. It's better, you know, it's better to get there slowly. And I know people who are downloads, including me, don't necessarily want to hear that, but that's the reality of how price action works. It's better to do it slowly.
Yeah, and this is something I mentioned today in the Portuguese group. We are not a moonshot. We might have been a moonshot when we were for Keelan, and it might have been a meme back there, but now we're taking this serious, and we have a voting trust being set up. We have money being staked in it. We have the devs open their dev wallet to pay the team, and that's a huge thing. So they could have just all that money for them in the end, and they are sharing it to pay the team and to get the movement going. So I think that's really important to show that they are also well involved with it. A question by Vidad: why is CEO not joining AMA? So Mark, pretty much what Mark does is a bit of what I do as well. Mark helps get the team organized, and he is the one that will be doxed as CEO of Stopelon at some point. But he's not like he doesn't have very good English, so he doesn't participate actively in the voice chats. Daniel is back from vacation, I think, during the weekend, and next week probably we'll have Daniel back with us on the AMAs, because he had a vacation from his daily job, and he took that time to have a little vacation from Stopelon while the voting trust is being set up, and while he has the possibility to rest a bit.
Yeah. To go into that more of Vidad's question there, so it would also be interesting to hear Baba on strategy. What are they working on right now? But Baba's working on the tour. He's been writing out the documents in the background for us to discuss, given the outlines, given his ideas on the giveaways and what he thinks should happen in the city, who he thinks we should get in contact with, and he passes that on. He's not overly, I don't think he's particularly. He's a different time zone to us for a start. I know Rod is the other way, but I don't think he's an AMA guy, and not everybody wants to flap their mouth in front of people. Some people are just good at working on what they do. They don't need to be presenters.
Baba is helping work on the tour planning as well, figuring out everything with Don. So he is going to be helping on that part as well as a strategy for the moment. Later on, when our market cap grows, Baba will be responsible for having partnerships with influencers, getting the word out. So that's his job in the future after we grow the market cap a bit more, and we can make the most out of each token in the marketing wallet. Stan, Stopelon is a deflationary token, so we don't have infinite Stopelon. What we have is what was shown, and it's shown on the website. The circulating supply is 509 trillion Stopelon,
Billion.
billion Stopelon, and that's it. We don't create new tokens, and we're still burning via the tokenomics. So the circulating supply in the end will be diminished, and the price, when we have enough volume of purchases, the price will go up faster because of the burn supply.
Yeah.
So we are a finite a finite. Is it finite that you say? I'm Brazilian,
yeah.
so I don't know how. Yeah, we have a finite amount of tokens, and that's not going to be changed, and no new tokens will be minted. So don't worry about it. You can buy, on your other question, you can buy per operation. You can buy 1 billion Stopelon. That's the whale limit, the anti-whale limit.
Yeah, works pretty fine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Makes
The
person
last bit of
happy.
Dad's question is where everybody is and what team members are working on. I think one thing that, like, I know you want to hear from different people and things like that. The main thing that you need to like consider when you look at the org chart, which is just above where you've written your question, it's the people in the white boxes that are, you know, doing the physical bits that you need to worry about what they're working on. The people in the red boxes, for all intents and purposes, are managers, and some of them cross over and whatever. But when you look through the white boxes, you've got me and Dave, Eddie and Shadows, her community admins. You've got to remember that it's the summer, so like I went away with my kids 1 week. Eddie's been away. Dave was away. Some of us have tried to pop in and out when we've been away as well. And then as you go across the list, like, you know, Dave's just got back. Dave is the taskmaster. He is, you know, every time we say we're going to do something, he holds us to it. He writes it down. He holds us to it. He asks if there's any way that he can help us. He's the, you know, general helper. He's good with website stuff as well. I'm working with him behind the scenes on how we can work out how to manually multicast these AMAs, which is something that we're still working on, because it's either a case of chuck an obscene amount of money at it or do it yourself. And I think that we can, between me and Dave, we can work out how to do it ourselves. So that's something that he's involved in. Then the next line is me again, so doing the writing. Babbo that we talked about. We all know what Rod does. He does all of the graphics. He takes his AMAs. He's in the chat all day long. You've got Ace or Quack. He's basically my boss. I work with him, making sure all the socials are working, making sure we can get into all the socials, reclaim some of the old ones that, you know, that other people had control of. Shadows does the website. Devacor is on the voting trust, and where is he? He's been really busy moving, so we're hoping to see a bit more of him soon. And then that's Don, and we hear from Don, but, you know, day in day out, he's another one. It's essentially his project, you know, him and Daniel, and he's always pushing us on. You know, he wrote, I'm not going to tell you what's in the ins and outs of it, but he wrote out 3 stages. He had to go at all of us when stage 1 wasn't finished, you know, and when we got to stage 2, he went on and on at us about getting stage 2 finished, you know, and all this kind of stuff. There's all these tasks that he set for us that we're ticking off one by one, and he's a bit of a whip master as well. So that, I mean, that's talking through that org chart and what everyone's doing at the moment. If you have any more questions,
me as a COO, now I have to pretty much monitor what everyone is doing, get people just the same as market, get people doing their tests and asking what the deadlines are, when we'll be finished, getting new stuff to be done. Pretty much, I'm working the last couple of weeks with Shadows on having some updates on the website, which is also a good thing to remember, because we have now 5 languages for our website, including Russian and Arabic, French and German, and there's some more translations coming next week from community members that were available and said they wanted to do the translation for the team and for the movement. We did some new updates to the roadmap, because the roadmap was a bit confusing in the layout that we had, and some stuff was still old and not updated. So our roadmap is pretty much up to date now, and it has a different layout where you can scroll through it, so it's easier to more specifically know what's in each step and what's being worked on and what's been completed. So that's something that Shadows has been working actively in the last few weeks with me. And pretty much that's it. I talk to the whole team every day, see what everyone's doing. I talk to Don by the evening. Usually my afternoon Don's midnight, and Don is working on wrapping the GTR, and he has a day job as well, because he does car mechanics and car restoration. So he has a 9 to 5 job as well as Stopelon. So everybody is working a whole lot on everything. Sometimes, as we discussed on some AMAs before, right in the beginning, sometimes you might not be seeing what's happening, but everything is being done in the background, and it's a whole lot of things for a team of 11 people. So it takes time to be seen, but we're working. Even the merch store, like the merch store is not something that happens from one day to the other. I had to do all the designs, all the merch designs, and then we had to figure out the whole payment system. We needed to figure out how the IPs were interacting with the infrastructure of the website, which was a mess. So everything has been fixed by Dave and Shadows as well. So those little things end up being a whole lot of spaghetti that we need to swim through and get rid of. So it's a lot of work. As mentioned, Daniel is back during the weekend. Next week we'll have some updates on the NFTs for June. We know that he's gonna be airdropping maybe over the weekend the gold and silver NFTs already, and the diamond ones as well. And then stone and bronze will be right after, and we might be looking into farming for those two, which is a way to. Those are the bulk of the whole NFT, and those are the ones that make it get expensive, because if you imagine like 10,000 holders, and you pay 43 GWay for each NFT to be sent, that's a whole lot of money. I think we paid $3.5K or $4K last month to do the airdrop. So this month we're exploring new possibilities, and pretty much that's it. Everybody's working a whole lot, and we will have some more updates very soon.
Just wondering about the annual shareholders meeting in 2021. Do we have any plans?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to answer your question. Sorry. We might do another protest, because I know we now have the whole modus operandi for the protest on Tesla Fremont, and I think we got some good visibility on the first one. So maybe our second one will be around the time that they have the Tesla stockholders meeting, because I see it's in the Fremont factory, and we know how to protest there, and the authorities to warn, and also the news media outlets that we can reach out, like in NBC Bay Area, which did the whole video about us. So we might be doing a protest in front of there, and maybe giving some interviews about the updates and what's happening with the token as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's
Because
exactly
I
where
don't
I
think
live,
you can.
so-
I don't think you can like participate in the meeting. You can just be around and maybe post to social media about it, and we might do that as well. But I think having some people there on the day of the event will be more effective.
Sure. Yeah.
There'll be a lot of online talk surrounding it, won't there? It'll be you know, we'll be able to dig out where people are talking about it, I imagine, and we'll definitely keep an eye out if there are live streams involved in it.
Yeah, and there'd be more subreddits we could go to, whether it be Bay Area, Fremont, Tesla, that we could not quite shill onto, but market ourselves, telling what we're going to do. And I don't know if anyone is in the Bay Area. I am, so I'm happy to attend it and see if I can gather some folks.
Awesome. I'm very much not in the Bay Area. You can probably tell from my accent.
Yeah, you can tell from your accent you're a bit far away. But yeah, I think that's it. Do we have any more questions that I missed?
Doesn't look like it.
Roadmap has no faces and dates. Yeah, we don't set dates because crypto is unpredictable, so we cannot like say we're gonna do this next month. And legal issues are not predictable as well. Legal issues in Brazil take 10 years to happen. I know in the US they take a bit less, but we cannot be sure like how much time the voting trust will need to be set up, and how long it will take before we can buy our shares or we can deposit them on the voting trust as well. Devacor has a meeting next week. Pretty much what he said on the last time last Tuesday. He said he talked to Wes, and Wes is still waiting on 2 brokerages to have the brokerages work with them on the rules and specific rules on how the voting trust will work, so that we have the most investors depositing their shares from the most brokerages out there. And I think that's why they're working and giving so much emphasis on this part of having conversations with them and having the rules be compatible with what the brokerages have right now. So he might have a new meeting next week where they have some bigger updates, but pretty much we're waiting on 2 of the 4 or 5 brokerages that they were in talks with.
Do we know how much money we've spent with this law group so far on getting this done?
I'm not sure, but I know Devacor is the one paying for it. So for now, he is the one that knows how much it's costing. It's not costing Stopelon nothing yet, but in the future, they will be paid partially in Stopelon tokens as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, I mean, I know it's impossible to get a timeline and all that stuff. But yeah, it would be nice to have this before the shareholder meeting. I mean, and even better before the tour.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible, but maybe after the next updates, we might know a bit more on how it's going to be and how long it's going to take. We'll see.
Cool.
So I think that's it for today, guys. We're at 40 minutes already. If you guys have any more questions, give you 2 or 3 minutes. If not, we'll be seeing you next Tuesday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Bye,
good
everyone.
weekend.
All right, everyone. See you next week. Thank you
See you
for
later.
participating and for being around.
Thank you. And good job, Aaron.
Yeah, it was a nice one, Aaron.